Okay, we're going to take a trip to Australia, so you know what to do. Get you a little comfy chair and get you a snack and get a drink and get ready to get on the plane and go. So, this is a trip to Australia, and Australia is one of the what? 7 continents that we've learned about. Let's see if you can name the 7 continents. I'll give you a minute to say them. North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, Antarctica. Let's do that again. North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, Antarctica. See if you can think about them in your mind. It's North America and South America. Then you go across the ocean. It's Europe and Asia, Africa, Australia, and at the very, very, very bottom, Antarctica. So Australia is a continent that we're going to learn about today. So buckle your seatbelt and let's take off. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. All right, the first one is, are you ready to go down under? First, let's learn a few facts about Australia. Now, I let y'all do a little bit about Australia last week, and we just weren't really good on the videos, so I'm hoping that this one will work and it'll be a little more interesting. So why do you think Australia is called down under? Well, if you look at a globe, and I don't have a globe here today, or a map, you can see that Australia is down low. So that's why they call it down under. All right, let's look at the next one. It says Australia is the world's smallest continent and the world's largest island. What is an island? Does anybody know what an island is? An island is a piece of land that is completely surrounded by water. It's not attached to any other land. It's got water on all sides. It says, can you name the 2 oceans that touch Australia? Leon, if you were in class, I am sure that you would know this. The one on the top is the Indian Ocean, and the one on the other side is the Pacific Ocean. So we have 2 oceans touching Australia. If you will get your map book out, your Australia book, so it has this picture on the front, and we don't know what that is yet, but we're going to find out. And if you will get this sheet out like this, this is the map of Australia. So Australia is going to be colored like this because it's divided up into 6 states. Now, how many states does the United States have? Do you know? It has 50 states. So let's see if we can pause the video and see if you can color. So I'm going to color mine. And you can pause the video or you can just keep going. So the first one is called, you know what? I need to get my glasses because I can't read this. Western Australia. So see if you can write that down in black. So I'm going to write that down in black and then I'm going to color it. And I may use a little bit lighter blue because I only have 2 blues. I have a dark blue and I have a light blue. So I'm going to write Western, West, West, in verse, Western, all in faucet, Australia. Alright, so it looks kind of like this, Western Australia, and I'm going to color it blue. So you color yours blue, and I'm going to color mine blue. I'm going to color in all these little points first. And then I'm going to outline the side of it so I can color quickly because once I've outlined it, it will allow me to stay in the inside of my outline very easily. Of course, you know Miss Amy is kind of fast anyway. So, I might find out that my markers are wearing out a little bit. We'll see if they'll color this whole big Western Australia. Why do you think it's called Western Australia? Well, do you remember when we learned directions? We had north on the top, south on the bottom. On the left side, we had W for west, and on the right side, E for east. So this is on the left side of Australia, so it's the western side. All right, then at the top, let me get my glasses back on, and it says Northern Territory. So the red is the Northern Territory. So I'm going to write that. Or in morning, norther in verse, Northern Territory. You're going to have to write really small to get all that in there. Northern Territory. Just copy it off of this screen right here. And it is red. So I don't have a red, but I have this orange. Maybe it'll look a little red. And I'm going to outline again. So I'm just going to be a problem solver. I don't have red, so I'm just going to use orange. That's what I have. So I'm going to color that in. That is the Northern Territory. So we'll find out what all is in the Northern Territory of Australia. Do you know that Australia has a lot of what? A lot of desert. So is the desert really that inhabitable? No, not really. All right, then under that, it has, I think it says South Australia. South Australia. So we're going to spell south, ow and out, south, and then Australia. Australia, and it is kind of a tannish color, so I have this color here. I'm going to see if this will work. I'm going to outline it and see if this will work. Just color that in. This looks kind of brownish. What color do you have? So that's South Australia. Then the green is called Queensland. I wonder why it's called Queensland. You think the Queen lives there? Queensland. All right, and it is a green, so I am going to color it with this green. Hopefully it's not going to be too dark. I'm going to outline it first because outline will provide a good edge for me to color to without going outside of the lines. Up and around. All right, here we go. Well, I'm coloring it green because I'm trying to match the map on the screen. Okay, and I'm trying to stay in my lines. Get most of my white bugs covered. Here's what I look like so far. I've got one more to do. No, I've got more than one more. So far, that's what it looks like. All right, and then we have the dark brown one on the screen is North South Wales. Wonder why it's named that. I am going to do if I do a dark brown, that's probably going to cover up my black writing. So I'm going to put North South Wales, no, not South, New South Wales, excuse me. New South Wales out to the side. New South Wales. Just going to put it out to the side like that. And then I'm going to color it dark brown because I think the dark brown won't show up. Even my black ink won't show up because my dark brown is very dark. All right, just color that in. Okay, and then the one on the bottom is dark blue. Let me see what that one says. Melbourne. Melbourne. I'm going to write Melbourne out under it again. Be sure you put a capital letter because these are names. Melbourne. Does Melbourne have a silent E in the end of it? Yes, it does. All right, so this is what it looks like so far. Melbourne, written out. I'm not sure. You can see my face, but I can't see my face on this screen. So then I guess I can color this one with dark blue because my Melbourne is written outside. So I'm going to outline it real quickly. I'll just color it in dark blue. It's starting to look like their map. And then they have a little island down there named Tasmania, and that is in light blue. And so all I have is this light blue that I've already used, so I'm just going to use it again. And I'm going to write Tasmania under it so it won't bump into Melbourne. Tasmania. All right, so I've got mine all colored. So we have Western Australia, Northern Territory, Queensland, South Australia, right under the north, New South Wales, Melbourne, and Tasmania. And those are the 6 states of Australia. All right, let's see what we can find out about the weather. Due to the huge size of the continent, why would they say it's the huge size of the continent? It's a very small continent. Australia has several different climate zones. The northern part of Australia has a more tropical climate. It's hot and humid in the summer and warm and dry in the winter. While the southern parts are cooler with mild summers and cool rainy winters. All right, I don't know if you're listening or not, but be listening, because in the north of North America, the further up we go, it gets colder. And the further down we go, it gets hotter. So what is going on with Australia? Why does it get warmer when you go up? Well, on the globe, there is a point that is very hot, and it is the middle of the globe. I'm going to draw you a picture. And there is an invisible line. And the reason it's invisible is because we cannot see it, but it is the equator. You can definitely feel it. Equator. And it is the hottest place on Earth, and it's right in the middle. So North America is up here. I'm just putting NA. So the further north you go, you get close to the ice caps. So you get colder. And the further down you go, you get hotter because you're getting close to the equator. Well, that's another reason Australia is called the land down under, because Australia is down under the equator. So the further up you go, are you going to get hotter or colder? You're going to get hotter. And the further down you go, you're going to get next to Antarctica down here where it's more ice caps. You're going to get colder. So it's opposite to what we have. And I'm pretty sure their seasons are opposite too. So that's pretty neat to look at. So if you look at the chart, it's got dark red, orange, yellow, green, and blue. And it's telling you, let me look. It's telling you what it feels like in the winter and the summer. So you can look at the chart and figure out the different parts of the land. All right, and we're going to look at their currency. What is currency? Currency is the type of money they use. Look, there is a picture of a woman on some of it, and some of it I see a man. But whose picture of that woman? Who does that look like to you? Looks like the Queen of England. And that is because the English used to rule down here. So that is what their currency looks like. It's called the Australian dollar, and their money is colorful. Whereas all of our money is green. It might have little tints of color to it, but they've got a purple, a red, a blue, a gold, a green. So it's fun money. Let's do one more. It's the flag. Now last week I had y'all color the flag. And in this book, this week, we also have a flag. It looks like this. Find your flag paper in your book, and we're going to color it. While you're coloring, I'm going to read to you. It says, in the top left corner is the Union Jack. This shows that Australia is part of the British Commonwealth, so they're still part of England. British means England. England means the UK. We did a tour in the UK, the United Kingdom, and it was up above Europe. Beneath the Union Jack is the large white star with 7 points. The points represent the 6 states and the territories. Originally, this star had 6 points. The 7th point for the territories was added in 1908. So Australia has some territories that are like states, but they're not quite states yet. They're just not, they don't have the same, probably don't have the same voting privileges. I'm really not sure, but I know America has some territories too. They're not our states, but they're our territories. On the right-hand side are the stars of the Southern Cross. The Southern Cross was chosen because it can always be seen in the Australian sky at night. So if you look at the picture on the flag, I'm just going to draw a line. Don't do this on yours, but I just want to show you. It's showing you the cross, and it's called the Southern Cross. And that is a constellation that you can see in the sky. If you love stars, you can look at the stars at night and you will see different constellations at different times of year. But for Australians, they always see the Southern Cross. And what is so neat about constellations, this has nothing to do with Australia, but it's so neat to me, is that God put his story for us in the sky. And if you study stars, you will see the story of Jesus. Now, some people have taken the stars and they have written other stories, and they're called myths or mythology, and they tell a different story. But the original story was God's story, and we know that his son Jesus came on the cross and he died for us. So I love looking at the stars for that reason, because they tell a story to us. All right, it says, now let's fly to some of the best places to see in Australia. Buckle up. All right, so I hope you have been enjoying your snack, and I hope you have been enjoying your coloring. Before we go, I want you to get out this sheet. It is the sheet that says Australian Facts. All right, Australian has how many countries or states? Let's go back to this video. It has 6. So in the blank, you need to put 6. 6. Australia is surrounded completely by 2 oceans. All right, let's go back to that picture. And up in the corner, you will see the Indian Ocean. It's spelled I-N-D-I-A-N. I'll write it on the board for you just so you can see it really well. If you already know how to spell it, good for you. You don't have to look. If you need to know how to spell it, it's very easy. Indian. I-N-D-I-A-N. The other one is on the other side. It's the Pacific. We haven't learned it yet, but see, sometimes it's soft. It makes an S sound. Pacific. So they are the Indian and the Pacific. Those are 2 of the oceans that surround Australia. Now, we have not done the largest city in Australia, but it says on this one that what the capital is, but that does not say it's the largest city. So we're going to hold off on that one and see if we can find out tomorrow what the largest city is. It may be the capital. The capital is what? What is the capital of a country or a state? It's where the government has all of their buildings, and that's where they make their rules, and that's called the capital of a state or the capital of a country. Usually a whole country has a capital. Ours is Washington, D.C., and then each state has its own capital too. In Texas, Austin is the state capital. So our government for Texas laws are made in Austin. They have the state buildings there. But the laws for our whole nation, the United States, are made in Washington, D.C. And so this one says that Canberra, I may have to look that up. Canberra is the capital of Australia, but it does not say it's the largest city. So sometimes the capital is not the largest city. So we'll see if we find out about that tomorrow. So I'm going to shrink this down. And there we go. And I'm going to stop recording. And you can work on your workbook, the parts that we have done. If you color the flag, I want you to, let me see if I can get my picture bigger. Well, maybe not. All right, well, I'll just have to figure that out when I get off. But if you see, there is some writing under there, and it says, write about why you think this flag is the national flag of Australia. Actually, what I want you to write is one thing that you found interesting about the flag of Australia. The cross up at the top, the X and the going up and down, that is called the Union Jack. The 7 pointed star stands for their territories. They have 6 countries and 1 more territory. They have the Southern Cross on there. So I want you to write one thing you learned about the Australian flag that you found interesting. Okay? Write that in a complete sentence to me. It doesn't need to be part of a thought like Southern Cross. What about the Southern Cross? You could say the Southern Cross is on the Australian flag. You could say the top cross is called the Union Jack. But you have to make it a complete thought, okay? And write it neatly because you are good writers. I know I've seen all of you write very neatly. So see if you can do that. And if you want to color the Australian flag word itself, you can. You don't have to, but you do have to color the flag. All right, that's all we're going to do for Australia today. And I've got one more video with you, and it's going to be learning a new number fact family. So I will see you in just a minute.